Hey everyone, welcome back to Whispers Beyond Archives. Today we're starting with a Thai horror classic, Mae Nak, a story that's haunted viewers for decades. It's about love, loss, and a spirit that refuses to let go. Creepy enough on screen, right? But here's the thing, the movie is just the tip of the iceberg. There are real-life legends behind it, from Thailand and across Asia, that are even more chilling than what you see in the cinema. Places where locals swear spirits linger. Temples where statues or something else just isn't quite normal. We'll take you through temples, mummified figures, and some of the creepiest stories that people claim actually happened. True encounters that will make you think twice about what's real and what's myth. So if you're ready for some serious chills, hit that subscribe button, because tonight we're uncovering the truth behind the tales, the spirits that refuse to leave, and the history they're tied to. In Thailand, there are many ghost stories of love and loss. But if we're talking about the most famous one that every Thai child grows up hearing, it can only be her. Parents still whisper to their children, "Stop crying, or Mae Nak will come for you." This is the tale of Mae Nak Phra Khanong, a story that has haunted Bangkok for more than a century. The legend begins during the reign of King Rama IV in the mid-19th century. At that time, Bangkok was still called the Mama, Venice of the East. Its canals lined with wooden houses, lived a young woman named Nalak. Beautiful, gentle, and deeply devoted to her husband, Malak. When Malak was conscripted to fight in a distant war, Nalak stayed behind, pregnant with their first child. Days turned to months. Each evening she stood by the river, waiting for his return. But when her time came to give birth, tragedy struck. Nak died in childbirth, along with the unborn child she had so longed to hold. Yet her love and her sorrow refused to fade. From that night onward, her spirit lingered. The villagers whispered that her house was filled with weeping every midnight. None dared to approach. Months later, when Madak finally returned from the battlefield, wounded but alive, he saw his beloved Nask standing in front of their home, cradling a baby and smiling. Overwhelmed with joy, he ran to her. To him, she felt warm, real, alive. He believed she had waited faithfully for him. And for a time, they lived as husband and wife once more. They laughed, ate together, and shared quiet nights by the river. But something was wrong. The villagers avoided Manak. Friends turned away, until one day, a friend and a traveling shaman stopped him on the road, whispering a truth too terrible to believe.
"Your wife is dead, Mac. She died a year ago."
Malzik refused to accept it. When he asked Nask, she smiled sadly and said, "They're jealous, my love. Don't listen." And Malzik believed her until the night the lime fell. As Nask cooked on the second floor, a lime slipped from her hands, falling through the gaps in the wooden floorboards. Without hesitation, she reached down, her arm stretching impossibly long, 2 meters through the floor, to catch it.
Mac froze. In that instant, the illusion shattered.
He looked around and saw the truth. The house was rotting, covered in cobwebs. The food on their plates was crawling with worms. The wife he loved was already dead. Terrified, Marek fled to the village temple, begging for help. But those who had tried before were already dead. Each person who spoke of Nalzik's ghost met the same fate, mysterious, violent, merciless. The haunting grew worse. Nalzik's neighbors fled. The ghost of Nalzik, grieving and enraged, began haunting anyone who dared approach her home. The villagers turned to powerful monks and exorcists for help. But every attempt ended in blood. None could subdue her. Then, word reached a revered monk in Bangkok, a master of both meditation and spiritual arts. His name was Ajahn To Promarangsi, later known as one of the 9 great saints of Thailand, the very creator of the sacred Somdej amulets. Ajahn To traveled to Phra Khanong to face the restless spirit himself. It was said the air grew cold the moment he stepped near the river. Chanting mantras, he entered the ruined home, where Nask's presence lingered strongest. Witnesses claimed the house trembled as the monk recited sacred verses, confronting the ghost not with violence, but with compassion. He told her, "Naskik, your time in this world has ended. Let go of your pain." But Naska wept, saying she could not leave her husband behind. Finally, through an act of mercy, Ajahn To performed a ritual to bind her spirit, sealing it into a fragment of her skull. Some say he carried it with him as a talisman to pacify her rage. Others say he placed it inside a clay pot, sealed with a cloth inscribed with sutras, and cast it into the river. Yet the story doesn't end there. Years later, fishermen pulled that same pot from the water, unknowingly breaking the seal. The spirit of Nazak escaped, returning to find her husband had taken another wife. Overcome by jealousy, she sought vengeance, until Ajahn To appeared once more, promising her that in the next life she would be reunited with Magarak. Only then did her soul finally rest. In another version, Ajahn To kept the fragment of Nazak's skull and fashioned it into a pendant, a sacred brooch said to have passed through royal hands before vanishing into history. Malak, heartbroken and guilt-ridden, became a monk himself, dedicating his life to repentance and prayer. After Ajahn To's death, Nazak's remains were reburied along the Phra Khanong riverbank. Beneath an ancient banyan tree, a shrine was built to honor her spirit, Wat Mahabut, now known as the Shrine of Mae Nak. Even today, worshippers come to offer incense, flowers, silk cloths, and even baby dolls. They pray for protection, for love, and for safe childbirth. Some claim to feel her presence still watching over the faithful, just as she once waited for the man she loved beyond death. The story of Mae Nak has been retold in films, plays, and television more than 30 times, but behind every version, comedy or horror, tragedy or devotion, lies the same truth. A love so strong it defied death itself. And somewhere by the quiet river of Phra Khanong, she may still be waiting. Today, the legend of Mae Nak continues, not only in stories and films, but in a small temple tucked away in a narrow alley of Bangkok's An Nut district. This is Wat Mahabut, the shrine dedicated to the ghost wife herself. Nearby, a tiny shrine honors her child, a reminder of the life she lost so tragically. Inside the temple, the air is thick with incense. At the center, atop a gilded platform, sits the figure of Nang Nak, entirely covered in golden leaf. Devotees believe this is not just a statue, but the immortal remains of Nang Nak herself. Over the years, worshippers have dressed her in new clothes, applied makeup and lipstick, placed wigs on her head, and even set a baby doll beside her, symbolizing her child. The effect is both haunting and reverent. The temple is filled with images, old clothing, miniature offerings, baby toys, modern cosmetics, anything a visitor believes Nang Nak could use. Some even hire dancers to perform, entertaining the spirit as if she were alive. At the entrance, small shops sell incense, candles, drinks, flowers, and sheets of gold leaf. Worshippers stick the gold onto the statue, layer by layer. Over time, the repeated application of gold has made her figure appear unusually plump, though her bones are still said to lie within. Visits follow tradition. Only 2 sticks of incense are lit. 3 is considered improper for Nang Nak. Sunny afternoons are busiest, when natural light floods the temple, revealing slight differences in each statue or painting. No one knows her true appearance. All depictions come from centuries of retelling, folktales, and films. Ask any local, and few will know what war her husband Mak fought in. Surprisingly, it was the Vietnam War. Thai youth were recruited as volunteers, equipped and trained by the U.S., forming a force of 11,000 sent to the battlefield. This adds a real-world layer to the centuries-old legend. Today, visitors pray for love, fertility, protection from misfortune, even financial luck, or to avoid conscription. But beware. The ghost wife does not forgive infidelity. A woman whose love transcended death, and a husband caught between devotion and horror. And so, as the sun sets over the canals of Phra Khanong, the golden figure watches silently. 100 years have passed. Yet Nang Nak continues to receive offerings, hear prayers, and perhaps protect those who approach her with respect. If you ever have the chance to visit Nana Temple, there are a few important things to keep in mind. First, remove your shoes before entering, and wear modest clothing that covers your shoulders and knees as a sign of respect. Photography inside the temple is generally prohibited, unless you have special permission, as it is a sacred space where many come to pray and meditate. When offering gifts, you can bring simple items like fresh flowers, incense, or toys to show your respect for Nana and her baby. If you have a specific wish, such as seeking love or family harmony, pray sincerely. Thai believers hold that a heartfelt prayer will be heard by Nana's spirit. In Thai culture, amulets, known as Phra Kruang or Buddha amulets, play a significant role. These are not just charms for protection. They serve as a bridge connecting humans with the spiritual world, deities, and ancestors. Nana Temple is closely tied to amulet traditions, as visitors often consult monks or request amulets associated with Nana, especially those believed to enhance love or protect family life. These amulets are typically blessed by senior monks, said to bring blessings and protection to the wearer. Outside the temple stands a centuries-old banyan tree. Many devotees touch the tree in hopes of seeing lucky numbers. Nana amulets can be either worn or used for home altars. When respectfully dedicated at home, Nana is said to assist those who are faithful and devoted to their partners. Since these are considered yin amulets, they should be hung below the waist. Offerings generally follow the practices used for female spirits, including cosmetics, sweets, perfumes, or other small gifts, often accompanied by specific chants. The ghost wife amulet, Mae Nak, is 100% a yin amulet, usually crafted by revered monks, including some who wear black robes. Its image typically depicts a woman holding a baby. The amulet is believed to strengthen love, attract wealth, and ensure the safety of childbirth. However, those who wish to request a ghost wife amulet, especially men, must be faithful to their partners. Otherwise, the consequences are unpredictable. A long-standing saying in temple etiquette goes, "Yang temples worship gods, yin temples worship ghosts." If a temple feels unusually dark or eerie, it is best not to enter. Likewise, do not casually touch or wear amulets from unknown sources. A notable story of unfulfilled vows. A group of 5 friends once traveled to Thailand, including a couple, Zhao Xin and Li Zi. While their relationship was close, complications arose during this trip. One morning, they received a frantic call from a friend describing a violent incident. Li Zi had suddenly erupted in anger after purchasing a Nana amulet and was restrained by the others. Upon arrival, it became clear that Li Zi's anger and erratic behavior were connected to the amulet. During the trip, Li Zi had visited Nana Temple, purchased offerings, and prayed for the end of her partner's flirtations and protection of their relationship. After returning to Taiwan, Zhao Xin remained loyal, and their relationship flourished. But Li Zi forgot to fulfill her vow to return offerings to the temple. Over the next year, she began having nightmares, mood swings, and conflicts with Zhao Xin. Eventually, with guidance and mediation, the friends arranged to send offerings back to the temple and properly honor Nana, restoring balance and ending the disturbances. Practical advice for visitors. When traveling in Thailand, it is crucial to understand the temple you are visiting. Thailand has over 30,000 temples, many of which are divided into Yang, God, temples, and Yin, ghost, temples. Accidentally praying at a Yin temple without proper knowledge could result in unintended spiritual consequences. Yin temples are built for spirits of the deceased who have no one to honor them. Their roofs are typically low to block sunlight, creating a darker, more somber atmosphere. Steps and windows are carefully designed in even numbers. If you are unsure which deity you are praying to, it is best not to make wishes or offerings, as the spirit may expect some form of repayment in return. Visiting Nana Temple offers more than just a glimpse into Thai spiritual culture. It is a reminder of the delicate balance between devotion and respect. While amulets and offerings can bring blessings, they are not toys, and improper actions can lead to unexpected consequences. Always approach the temple and its rituals with sincerity and awareness. Remember, a respectful visit means observing the temple rules, dressing appropriately, and understanding the distinction between Yang and Yin temples. Make your wishes with a pure heart, fulfill your vows, and honor the spirits with genuine intent. Faith, respect, and mindfulness are the keys to a safe and meaningful spiritual experience. For those fascinated by spiritual legends and real-life encounters, Nana Temple is a powerful example of how belief, devotion, and cultural tradition intersect. But more than that, it reminds us that every action carries weight, especially when dealing with forces beyond our understanding. If this story intrigued you, and you want to explore more tales of Thai spirits, cursed amulets, and mysterious temples, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and join us for our next journey into the unknown. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing your experiences and questions about these legends.